Starting, and yes, good morning, Grooners. Welcome. My name's Donato, and welcome to today's Daily Show. And today's Daily Show is a very special one because it's number 21. That's 3 weeks. 3 weeks I've been doing this Daily Show. So I thought I'd do a live one, and it just so happened, as serendipitous things would happen, I got one message which led to another message, and I've got a very special guest on today's show who's a campaigner, a runner, and an amazing lady. And I'd just like a quick little intro. And basically, it's a running campaigner who runs with East London Runners. And that's a running club down in East London. The clue is in the name. And amazing run club. And obviously, they're very much involved with lots of events and stuff. Obviously, London Marathon as well. I think they're one of the aid stations there. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce none other than Maud Hodson, who's going to talk to us about the runequal campaign. So hello, Maud. Good morning to you. Hello. Yes. So welcome to the show, Maud. And who needs HS2? So you're in London right now, is that right?
That's right, yep.
You're in London, and here I am in the Midlands, not far from Birmingham. So who needs HS2 when we've got the internet? So yes. So Maud, tell us about yourself and a bit about your running background.
Hi, Donato. Well, I work in classical music. I'm a music editor by profession, and I came into running fairly late in life, in my 30s. I was running a bit by myself. I started doing my local park run, which is Wanstead Flats here in northeast London. And I saw lots of people who were joining the running club, and they seemed to be having a great time. They were the ones that were improving and setting PBs. So I went and joined the running club. I joined East London Runners, who are based in Wanstead in East London. That was about 5 years ago. And since then, well, running has become an integral part of my life. My social life is very much based around East London Runners as well. They're a fabulous group of people, really lovely, friendly, inclusive running club. We have everyone from, really superstar speedy runners to complete newbies who come in, people who run socially, people who run competitively. I'm somewhere in the middle. And when
you win races, don't you, Maud? I think at the weekend, from what I recall, you'd won a particular race. So you're pretty good at what you do. Yeah, is that right?
Well, yeah, I did actually win a race. Yeah, I won a race called the Sikhs in the City Dawn to Dusk Ultra, which the clue's in the name again. You start at dawn and you run till dusk. You're running around a 2K lap, and the winner is the person who runs the most laps.
So you just kept running and running round and round and round.
I ran 36 2K laps, so 72K, and I was the female winner.
Wow, 72K?
Yeah.
Well, I think you've been very modest there, Maud. That is an astonishing distance. That is absolutely brilliant. Well done. And winning. So you got a trophy for that?
Yeah, I got a little trophy, yeah.
And a £5 million check, was that as well?
Sadly not.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's still to come.
Excellent. So it sounds... when you say you started late in life, I mean, that is extremely young. Obviously, I started in my 50s, so you're much more ahead of me. But it's great to see that when you talk about East London Runners, and it's the same. I've recently joined my local running club at Bourneville Harriers, and a lot of people tend to think that running clubs is just for fast people or elite people, but it's very much for people of all levels of and all demographics, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. And one of the things I love about the club is, it sounds cheesy, but we really are a big running family, and those runners, the very quick runners are also really friendly and supportive of the slower runners, the people who are new to running. So yeah, absolutely, I would recommend to anyone who enjoys running to go out and find their local club and give it a go. Just have a go.
You said you're a musician. I didn't know you're a musician. What do you play?
Well, I play the cello and also the violin and the trombone a bit, but I work on the publishing side.
Oh, wow. Okay. So violin. How random is this? The previous live broadcast was with none other than the running viola, who has the world record for the fastest musical instrument. Obviously, you didn't know that. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
So there you go, Grooners. How random is that? So Maud, well done on keeping the connection there. I'm really pleased with that. So how do I follow that? So the running viola to a wonderful musician. So it's brilliant that you've combined all that. And obviously you have a great love of running, which is why if we talk about in terms of the campaign that you're very active in, and obviously for me being a relative novice in running, I've only been going 3 years. I see a lot of things where it's good to change, or change for the better and change for the good. And you have a campaign which you're looking to bring in some changes into the running world. Can you tell us what the campaign is about and what's it called?
Sure. Well, when I joined the running club, I started doing cross-country races, and I was really very surprised to find that in many of these races, the women's races are a lot shorter than the men's races. I had no idea, because when you watch the Olympics on the telly, everyone runs the 100 meters or the 1500 meters or whatever event they've chosen to do. We all love the London Marathon. It's 26.2 miles, no matter what gender you are, how old you are, what pace you're running at, it's still 26.2 miles. But when I started entering cross-country races, I found that it's not just that the women's races are a little bit shorter, they're often much shorter. Many of the county championships, the national championships, the women run 8 kilometers and the men run 12. So the men are running 50% further than the women. And in fact, in the Southern championships, the women run 8 kilometers and the men run 15. So it's almost twice as far. And I don't think that's right. I think this is the 21st century. I think we should have equal events. Women may not be quite as quick as men, but they certainly don't lack for endurance.
Yes, I was going to say it. I found it when I was reading your article in the papers. I found it somewhat, try and use my words wisely, but I was a bit surprised. Having another random connection here, I've literally just started cross-country training with the Bourneville Harriers, and it was great fun at the other weekend. And there was, I think it was 50-50 men and women who came along to the training session, and people of all different levels. You know, some fast guys, some fast ladies, and some not so fast men and not so fast women. So it's a complete mix. But when I was reading that, as I say, like what you've just said, we sometimes, people in the outside world tend to think that everything is equal, but I was shocked that it isn't. I thought, you know, when I go and run a half marathon, I'm running with men and women. There's no different races, different times. I just find it odd. So what is the campaign looking to achieve? You're looking to have equality?
Yeah, essentially, we're looking to have the same distance for men and women, and for girls and boys in each age group within the junior categories. Okay. If anything, the juniors is what's most important, because that's when, you know, we've got young kids coming into the sport, and what message are we sending to those young boys and girls? That the girls can't run as fast as the boys?
Yeah.
And then on it goes. So yeah, we're looking for equal distances, and we're also looking, that's the main one, but we would love to equalize the age categories, because in many events, for men, the veteran categories start at age 40, so you have vet 40, vet 50, vet 60, whereas for women, they often start at 35, which doesn't make any sense. And it's just one of these hangovers that's always been that way. We'd love to iron that out as well.
Yeah. I did see that, obviously you mentioned that famous lady who gate crashed the Boston Marathon, because apparently women weren't allowed to run marathons back in the day. And it took a few years of campaigning until women were allowed to run marathons. Are you coming across sort of resistance to change from people? You know, it's, from what I read, it seems like people are saying, oh, this is how we've done it, this is how it is, type of response, which I find quite surprising. Here we are in the 21st century. Are you feeling that resistance to change from organisations?
Yeah, again, I was quite surprised by how much resistance there was. I thought it would just be a matter of time. And I still think that's the case. I'm still perfectly confident that these changes will happen. It's a when and not an if. But yeah, that there is a lot of entrenched tradition, and we hear a lot of the same arguments with cross-country distances that we did when, as you say, women started to run marathons. You know, people will say, "Oh, cross-country is not about the distance. You know, the women are slower, so their events are shorter, so they take about the same time." Well, women are a little bit slower, but yeah, it's about 10% roughly the difference between the elite performers, and the races are often 50% or more longer for the men. So don't tell me they're going to take the same length of time. They're not. That
seems quite a difference, Maud. So in terms of, obviously the campaign is up and moving. I've had a look through in terms of the website. I'll leave some links below. I've mentioned the guys. There is some articles in the mainstream media which have been very well written. I'll leave some links below. in the description once this has gone live. So obviously there's a lot of people who wouldn't have seen this live. Obviously it's being recorded live, which is great, and the joys of YouTube. But there'll be a lot of people who'll be watching this in the days to come. So I'll leave the links below in terms of the article, and also a link to the runequal website. But the final question really to you, Maud, is how can people help with this campaign? How can they join in if they want to, if they've watch this, listen to this, and they read the articles and they think the same as yourself, that it should be equal for women and men in terms of cross-country races? How can they help?
Well, the main thing is speak to your clubs, get your club to support the campaign. We're working on a new page on the website where clubs can, pledge support to the runequal ideals. Speak to the organisations of the leagues that you run in if they don't already have equal distances. Speak to your county associations. I'm very proud that my own county, Essex, is the first county in England to go for equal distances for their cross-country championships. So I will be very proud to run in the Essex County Champs on the 5th of January, where men and women will all run 10K. Last year it was 8K and 12K. This year we're all running the same, and also the under 20s and the under 17s have equal distances. So support events that are already equal, turn out in numbers at the events that are getting it right, because there are so many local leagues. I also run in the Chingford League and the Run Hart Sunday League with East London runners, both of which already have equal races for men and women. So I love to run in those events and show my support in a really positive way. But if you run in leagues or championships that are not equal, get involved, tell people what you think. And if you are running in those races where distances are not equal, or any race, in fact, many of us are wearing green and purple ribbons on our running vests to show our support for equality. Okay, that sounds excellent and really simple. Obviously, I'll be putting word out across my club at Bourneville Harriers. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who'd like to join in that. So we'll get things going in the Birmingham area and the West Midlands. I think I actually have my first cross-country race will be in the new year. So I'll have to get hold of some of those ribbons and put those on. So they'll be a bit shocked seeing this new old gears, because I really haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I'll just turn up, I went and bought some spikes only the other week. So I'll put those on and off I go. But so it sounds really straightforward, Maud, in terms of how people can support. And it's amazing that Essex County, as you said, are the first county to have equal running. So people can change. And as I say, it's not will they, it's when will they change. So it's really good to hear, Maud. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish this wonderful live chat here? Well, not really. I mean, Donata's going to put some links. So come and join our Facebook group, follow our Twitter feed. But above all, speak to people, get the message out there. Tell them what you think. That's brilliant, Maud. So I didn't realize you had a Facebook group. Obviously, I don't use Facebook that much. So send me the link to Facebook. Yeah. I'll put that on there as well. So the link's on the website. So if people go to the website, they'll find the links to all our social media. Brilliant, brilliant. So yeah, it's runequal.org, I think is the website address. Is that right? www.runequal.org. So all that remains me to say, Maud, whilst I've been sipping my lovely peppermint tea, is to, as it says on the mug, keep calm and carry on. Thank you so much for your time, Maud. It's an absolute delight having you on the show here live. It's quite a privilege having a campaigner as yourself here on the Running Guru show. So thank you so much for your time. And I wish you all the very best in your running, and that we can see here, not just in the UK. I think it's about equality on a global basis, really, isn't it? So I think it's fantastic. But we start where we are, and I think we start here, and that'll be fantastic. So thank you so much for your time, Maud. My pleasure, Donata. Thanks for having me. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Right, we'll stop the broadcast now. I'm going to press the button. Let's see what happens.